and Annette. Can you tell us just a little bit about your background and what got you involved in bargaining for adjunct issues? Annette?
Thank you. So Annette Stofer from AFT Seattle. So I'm not as old as I might sound after being involved for so long, but okay. I was asked by a colleague to get involved in union work. That was a long time ago. And it was as a rep for our division. So it was on the campus level and at a divisional level. And I also was asked to be a witness in an arbitration that the union had going on. And so those were my two sort of introductions to union work, and I just have stuck with it over the years. I've held a wide variety of leadership positions in our union, some of them campus-based and some of them at the district level. And now I am the local president, and excited to say that I'm the first adjunct faculty to be elected as our local president. I've been on a number of negotiating teams and a number of memorandum of understanding little negotiating teams. I've been in Olympia lobbying many, many times, and I served on 2 of the best practices task forces.
Thank you for that. Doug?
Yeah, I guess my pathway started when I was fairly young. Both my parents were city school teachers. They were AFT folks from back in the day. And for me, when I was young, my mother passed away pretty unexpectedly. And I remember having to think about, how it is we move forward with trying to recover from everything that was happening in my family. And I just remember how important it was, to have a union, to have a strong union at the time, and how much that made a difference in us being able to sort of pick ourselves back up and move forward. So that was really, I guess, when I was young, my first realization as to how important unions are, how important they are for families that are struggling, just for working people, for workers in general, across the board. As far as adjunct issues, when I moved to Washington from Puerto Rico, I went to grad school. I joined up with the UAW. I was a grad student representative for the union there at University of Washington. I later ended up joining the bargaining team, negotiated a contract. I think pretty early on when I got involved with that work there, contract enforcement work for UAW for quite a while. And I started working as an adjunct around 2014. And I had been working as an adjunct right up until about 2020 for TCC and Highline College. And during that period of time, I became a single parent. And as a single parent, trying to sort of make ends meet on an adjunct salary was quite a challenge. And I think one of the hardest things was not knowing if I'd have work every 10 weeks and looking at my kids in the eyes and wondering whether or not I was going to be able to be the kind of father and the kind of parent that I needed to be there for my children. So adjunct issues really kind of made their way into the sort of center of my concerns as a labor organizer, as a labor leader, partly because of my own experiences and partly because of through the work, what I had seen other people dealing with as single parents, as folks who came from non-traditional backgrounds as academics, and how hard it was to sustain themselves as adjunct faculty members, especially through more difficult times that came with COVID and what we're living through right now. So I think that was sort of my path. Always worried about being able to feed my kids, worrying about homelessness, worrying about being able to live in a safe environment for my children on a salary that was just not enough to be able to do this as a single parent. So that was basically my pathway to this work.
Wow, thank you for sharing that.